Talk a little bit, if you would, about the emphasis that you guys have on wellness, well care. Uh, what? Talk a little bit. Define that, if you would, and express, if you would, articulate a bit of why that is such a critical value here.
And I think, that's, being a nurse practitioner, I went to school and I was obviously, at some point in my career, I thought I was going to go to be a medical doctor and stuff like that. And I think somewhere along the line, I got really turned off just medicine in general, not necessarily doctors and not individual doctors, just medicine in general. Because the concept early on in medicine was to treat illness. That was the intent. You got sick, you treated the illness, you moved on. Well, I think the transition, and I think it's in medicine too, but I think the transition now is it's much better to try to care for people and prevent illness than to treat illness. And so we spend a lot of time really trying to concentrate on teaching kids how to be healthy, teaching parents how to take care of the kids to be healthy. I have conversations every day about teaching healthy eating habits, teaching all these kind of things that they think, well, they're kids, let them have a little flexibility in their life. And I understand that. I'm a parent, I have kids myself. But the concept, if you teach them young, they're going to prosper later in life because they're going to gain a lifetime of knowledge from that education that you gave them. Don't wait till it's a problem and we have to teach them. Teach them this all throughout. And so I think, in the aspect of caring for wellness it's just a much better concept of medicine. It's going to be much cheaper in the long run. I mean, it may not be initially, but I think from just the medical care in itself, it's going to be much cheaper in the long run to care for wellness, keeping people sick, because it's a lot cheaper. Maybe not for the little specific concept that I'm talking about here, but in general, it's much cheaper to keep people well than to have sickness, to have people in the hospital, to have all this kind of stuff. And so the hope is if we can teach wellness, there'll always be sickness. So you're not getting away from sickness. You're just trying to teach people how not to be as sick as often or as much, spending much time in as much care here or urgent cares or ERs. And so ultimately, I think wellness really is going to be the defining feature of our next generation, is we're trying to keep people well. Save money, keep people well, you don't have to worry about illness. And that's where it becomes a big deal in wellness, simply because we don't want to just see you when you're sick. We want to see you well. That develops our relationship. I want to see you every year to see how you're doing, how you're growing, what you're doing in your life, even if it's just for wells and stuff like that. So that's where I think we're hopefully heading. And I know we, as a practice, try to spend a lot of time preaching wellness or trying to teach wellness as educators in that perspective. So.